Learning English doesn't have to be boring. Forget the long grammar charts and confusing textbooks, you can actually learn it by living stories. Stories that are real, funny, sometimes embarrassing, but full of useful English words and expressions you'll actually remember. So hit that subscribe button, tap like, and let these moments teach you the language in a way you'll never forget. Now let's get into today's story, where a small mistake turned into a big wet problem. The air in Bali was heavy and warm. The clouds above looked soft and gray, like they were thinking about crying. And our guy? He was walking slowly toward the little ticket office at the ferry dock. His bag was heavy on one side, his sandals were still a bit wet from the beach, and he was already sweating. He had been traveling for almost 3 weeks. One country to the next, one hostel to another, and now, it was almost time to fly back home. Almost. He reached into the front pocket of his bag to pull out his passport. It had been there all trip. Safe. Protected. No reason to worry. But when he took it out, something felt wrong. It was soft. Like paper that had been soaked in water. He opened the cover. The pages stuck together. His face turned white. No. No, 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 he whispered. It had rained 2 nights before. Heavy tropical rain. He'd thrown his bag under a small table in the corner of the beach bar. Maybe it wasn't dry. Maybe something spilled inside. Maybe he didn't zip it fully. The damage was done. The passport was wet. Very wet. He ran to the bench nearby, sat down fast, and tried to peel the pages apart. Gently. Like handling a baby bird. The ink hadn't run yet, but the corners were soft, the photo page was warped, and the stamps looked like they had just been drawn in watercolor. Panic started rising in his chest. He was supposed to fly the next morning. From Bali to Jakarta, then on to Tokyo, and finally home. Without a passport, he wouldn't even get through the first gate. He needed a solution. He ran back to his guest house. The lady at the front desk looked surprised to see him return so quickly. He tried to explain in simple words. Passport, got wet, he said, holding it up like a ruined book. Need dry. Fast. She frowned. Oh no. Wait 1 minute. She walked into the back room and returned with a small electric fan. It was old, with blades that clicked every time they turned. She pointed at the lounge area. Put passport there. Open. Let it dry. He nodded. Thank you, thank you. He sat on the floor, placed the passport in front of the fan, and waited. 1 hour. 2 hours. 3. He flipped each page carefully, letting the air hit every inch. It helped a little. The passport started to feel less wet, more like thick paper. But the problem wasn't just the water. It was the look of it. The edges were curled, the photo looked strange, and it just didn't look official anymore. That night, he barely slept. His thoughts raced. What if they don't let me on the plane? What if they think it's fake? What if I get stuck here for weeks? The next morning, at the airport, his heart was pounding. He handed the passport to the airline staff with a nervous smile. She looked down, flipped through it slowly. Stopped at the photo page. Tapped it once. It got wet? She asked. He nodded quickly. Yes. Rain. Accident. I tried dry it. She didn't smile. Just kept flipping through. Then she stamped something on her screen, nodded, and handed it back. You're lucky. This time okay. But fix it before next trip, yes? He almost collapsed from relief. Yes. Thank you, yes. On the plane, he sat by the window, looked out at the sky, and exhaled for the first time in hours. He'd learned a lesson that day, a very wet, stressful, unforgettable lesson. From that day on, his passport always had its own dry zip bag. Always. Did that story hit close to home? Maybe you've had your own passport panic moment. But look how much English you just learned without even noticing. Pages stuck together, photo warped, ran to the bench, collapsed from relief. It's how real people talk, and now you know how to say it too. Have you ever had an awkward travel moment? Maybe something with your documents? Tell us in the comments, we'd love to hear your story. And don't forget, we post a new English learning adventure every day. Fun, real, easy to understand, and full of language that actually matters. Hit that follow, and see you in the next story.